Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. The people are still clueless. I believe a vast majority are clueless. I'll tell you why here in just a moment. I have a very good passage that I'm going to share with you towards the end of this video that I believe a lot of people need to hear. But first, we went out shopping and did some things, tried to fill some holes yesterday in preps. We're really pretty good as far as provisions like water, food, and that kind of thing. We're in pretty good shape, but we're starting to look at the other things like clothes, shoes, the things that we kind of dismiss after sometimes, especially guys, I think, especially men. I think we tend to figure, my shoes are going to last forever, and my clothes, I don't need anymore, So it's funny. If you ever go into thrift stores, I don't know why this just popped in my head. If you go to thrift stores, especially at the Goodwills and things like that, and look in their shoe section, you will notice that the men's shoes are absolutely, if there are any there available to sell, they look the worst. They look terrible. Most of them. But if you look at the women's shoes, that's where you find the deals. You can find some that are barely worn or not worn at all, still have the tag on them. Anyway, just the observation I've made over the years. But we decided to reshoe me. I mean, I needed new tires on my feet. So I've been because I go through shoes quickly because in my work, for one thing, I do a lot of walking, period, but especially in my work, there are times when I have to dismount from the vehicle and go on a little hike or go on a little walk. So I need shoes that are all weather because in my work we go out, we're out there no matter what the weather is. No matter what, we're like the male people. If it's raining, we still do our thing. If it's sleeting or whatever, but especially rain in this area. So went and got and actually found some pretty good deals. Actually, I like Skechers, so we found a really good. I got two pair for what I have almost spent before on one pair. So I was surprised at it. I really was for this day and time, at least. And very good quality, some good all-terrain shoes. My other ones were just they were worn out. They were worn out. Miss Dog's like, they're worn out, dude. And I'm like, I think I can get more out of it. No, you need more. We need to keep on top of this kind of thing. Mrs. Dog wisdom is real. It really is. So we did that, but we noticed, and we were in an area where there are a lot of different stores, like an outlet type mall, and outdoor mall, as you can call it. A lot of stores are close together, and for a Saturday afternoon, it was sparse, I would say. Now that could part of that could be this summer, school's out, people are doing other stuff, I guess. But uh, overall, and we drove by Walmart, and on a Saturday afternoon, that parking lot was a lot less crowded. Miss Dog, man, I didn't even notice. I'm just driving. Miss Dog's like, look at that parking lot. Now, yeah, depends on where you are. Now, if you drive by a Costco parking lot, it's probably opposite. It's probably a thing's probably full. Anyway, so look at those kind of things, especially like hiking boots. Do you have hiking boots? Do you have good walking shoes? If we get into a situation, you just never know where you need to walk. Or I think they're just good prep items too. We both Miss Dog and I both have two pair. We both have hiking boots, which are waterproof. That's important, waterproof. I have some all-terrain trail type shoes that I use for work. They're not totally waterproof, but they're like water resistant. So that's a great help actually, and that they look fine. They look okay. I can wear them to work. But think about some waterproof, at least one pair, like galoshes too might be good, like work boots, or hard toe or steel toe. I have a pair of steel toes also. It's good to have at least one like that, okay? Um, in your arsenal. All right. The people The people are clueless. I really mean, and I know there are videos out there, and I've said it before. I think more people are waking up, and I think that to a certain extent, but mm, just based on an experience we had yesterday, we had a power outage here, and it's becoming more common, especially the short power outages, the intermittent. The lights, everything flickers. It's a bright sunny day. There's no weather issue. Calm, no wind, power flickers off and on. I'm used to it by now. This is the way of the world. This is the world we live in. But yesterday is when we got home. We got home from doing our running around, and we were out. We were out for a good 2 hours, out of power for a good 2 hours. Again, no wind, no storm anywhere. Okay, this is becoming more common, and we're like, okay, we're prepared. We're good. We're not worried. You should have seen the firestorm on social media, not just our neighborhood page, but the surrounding the county. You know how you have your county will have these social media um, pages and such. Living in whatever county and the town of whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all, people are not prepared. A 2 hour power short, 15 minutes into the power outage, people are in a panic mode. Even even close by, you would think we're in a rural, semi-rural area. People are flipping out a little bit. I mean, all ages. It don't matter. Young, old, middle. He runs the gamut. But they're like, well, I'm about to make dinner. Or, this is really inconvenient. The air conditioner's not working. No, it's not. Without power, the air doesn't work, man. It don't work. It won't work. You need to prepare for that. You might be uncomfortable for a little while. It's okay. Open a window. We have a screen on our back door. Open the back door. That alone made a difference. And it wasn't even in the middle of the day where it's the hottest. It was the sun had already gone down. So sit on the patio for a minute. Get some fresh air. Spray some off on you so the mosquitoes don't. There are things you can do. So we were not shocked. I was not shocked by this, but it's almost amusing. Now, Mrs. Dawg, being the smart person she is, did a little chiming in. Not overboard, but on the social media posts, especially the neighborhood one. Um, how people are like, oh, they should give us notice. They should give us more updates. The power company should tell us when, give an ETA, when it's going to come back on. Mrs. Dawg, just kind of threw out the little, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, yeah, they really do need to do that. Yeah, just a little bit here and there, not overboard, like I said. But I think that's very smart because, and I just chuckled because I know what she's doing, is that you do not, and silence would be okay too. I think that's what I did. I was silent. I'm not chiming in on that. But I agree with what she did. You just pop in, just kind of like, especially the people when you talk to, once we have a rapport with, especially, like, yeah, this sucks. They should give us an ETA, and dang, I mean, if this keeps on going, we're gonna have to put our stuff in a different, we might lose everything in our refrigerator, as far as everything's gonna spoil. It wouldn't. We're prepared for that in reality, but we don't we don't want people to think that we are that prepared, especially those right around you. Okay, close proximity. But anyway, but I was a little, like I said, I wasn't too surprised, but it's really something. I think it just goes to show that I think majority of people walking around out there are dang clueless. They're not prepared, and widen that out a little bit. And I looked on the county pages, and I can't believe the power's out. There's no storms and this and that, and I'm like, I felt so much like letting into these people, but I didn't. I didn't. I was like, I just wanted, I wanted to tie one. I don't know. You know, it was tempting. Like, dude, get used to it. Prepare a little something. Oil lamps are great. Oil lamps, they're awesome. We're gonna get a couple more. We already have several. We lit them up. It was like the lights were on. Well, not that bright, but I mean, we didn't have any problem. I mean, we're not in the dark here, you know. So, and it would take a lot longer for me to even kick the generator in, you know. And you have to be careful with the generator; they make noise. Uh, anyway, but there are other ways to prepare for that. You know, look at your alternative lighting, alternative energy. There's solar. Uh, you know, and people freak out. I don't have internet now. Well, no, no, it may not work, or you may not have your TV on. You know, the cable may be out now. What are you going to do? You can read a dang book. If you got a candle and you got a book, you're good. So I think another thing is to think about things to stock up on that if you don't already, um, that don't require electricity. You know, a book, Bibles. If you have an opportunity, if you see a good deal on Bibles, grab a few extra. I have a feeling I have a feeling, you know what I mean? I have a feeling that it doesn't hurt to stock up on a few more Bibles. I mean, really. Because if the plug is pulled long term, you can't look up a verse on your phone. You're just going to have this. All right? This will last a very long time, much longer than us. Okay? But other books, the how to do books, your basic stuff, your basic. We have a lot of books as far as your basic from mechanical to just gardening, especially outdoor and gardening, herbs, your plants, what's edible, what's not, that kind of stuff. If you have old encyclopedias and old things like that, try to keep them if you have room for them. If you have room for them, keep them. We had an opportunity to get to acquire some encyclopedias, and I almost went ahead and did it, but we have a lot of that kind of stuff already, and our space is kind of limited, so I declined. But if you have the room, if you have the storage space, you know, make sure we have backup. You know, that's on paper. Um, radio, battery operated, solar operated radio, your weather radios, things like that don't require electricity all the time, especially. So just go through and think about those kind of things. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there. But I believe, can you imagine? Can you imagine? And that was just 2 hours. It was less than 2 hours. Our power was out. And people are freaking out. Widen that out. Give it a few days, a week, weeks. Can you imagine the panic of these people? Well, dog, I just go to the grocery store. I just no. I mean, okay, but the power's probably out, maybe out there too. Especially in a wide range situation, a widespread situation. What are we gonna do? They might be closed. They might be cleaned out within 24 hours. What then? So that's a scary thought. And these people, when they get hungry, and I can almost bet most of these people don't have more than a couple of days food, maybe a day worth of food in their house. Okay. So I believe, and this sounds pessimistic, but I believe still today, I don't know, I don't even know a percentage. I'd say 90%, 90%, maybe more than that. I might be off. Are still nowhere near prepared for any emergency. And it didn't have to be full SHTF situation. You can just be a week or two, you know, that are out. Now, I get, you know, some people medical situations, your diabetes and things like that. That's okay. that's a serious situation. But for the most part, I think a lot more people could be better prepared for something like that as a power outage, and I think they're going to become happen a lot more often, and we're seeing a lot more often when there's no weather issue, So that tells me this is going to continue and it's going to increase. So prepare for it. Are y'all okay? Shore up on it. Shore up your preps on it. Real quick passage is from Third John. Third John chapter verse 11. Dear friends, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God. Amen. There's so much. There's so much, and we talk about it. I know, but this day and time where evil is celebrated, evil is purported as good, and the opposite. Good is evil. Good is bad. Darkness is light. Light is darkness. That we're seeing that so much. And this is a reminder. Do not imitate. Do not imitate the evil. Do not imitate and follow the false teachers. So many. The Bible tells us that's going to increase. And do we know it's the end? We don't know the day or the hour. We see signs, yes. So let's just always be ready. Always be ready, right? That's the main thing. Spiritual prep number one is number one. All right. Share your thoughts on this. What do you think? Do you share my pessimism in that most people are still not really clueless at all. They're oblivious, walking around in blissful ignorance. But or share what you think about that. I'm curious to know. But let's be safe out there. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.